Alright, after about an hour of setup, I don't know if it's because I haven't done this in so long or if my computer and my capture device are slowly dying. Here we are. Back at it again. Alright. So we have Bakura. What the fuck was that? Oh. I love when I open Firefox and then 10 minutes later it starts playing the Netflix show I was watching. So we're back. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum Part something. I don't know. Let's go against... Let's see. We have the real villain of the series. We have one of the main villains. And then we have the main antagonist. Let's go with Merrick first. Okay. So yeah, I haven't recorded in, I think, over a month. It's been all streams. I mean, that counts, but it doesn't at the same time. Yeah, just haven't had time. Haven't made time. Just really sad. Just wasting away. No. Yeah, I've been really busy. And a lot of not sleeping.
Greetings, Pharaoh. Merrick. Merrick? No, I'm something much more exciting.
I want to know what filter they use on Merrick's voice.
It's time to duel against shadows and darkness.
What do you want? The title as Capsule Monsters champion?
The title? I care nothing about the title. What I want is... I want everything! I want the world in my clutches! But what I want most is your defeat as you rot in the Shadow Realm!
You've lost your mind.
He seems a bit intense.
Then let's duel them!
Does this mean that Merrick technically entered the tournament twice? Because that seems unfair. That seems like things are slightly balanced against me. Yeah, just been really busy. Working 5 days a week, doing overnights, and then, like, before, when I was doing this, I would just, like, I would try and record before I left for work, but my sleep schedule has been fucked. So it's like, get home, sleep for a couple hours, wake up, be groggy enough where I can't do anything, and also, like, feel the need, like, I need to get back to sleep, so I don't, like, want to start anything. Go back to sleep right before I have to go shower and get ready for work, repeat, and then on days off, just trying to de-stress from the week, and it's a whole fucking thing. Apparently I have some monsters who are still injured, so I'm just gonna surrender first. No. Yeah. So I've been alright. I've, some minor updates. I don't know if I talked about it in this series, but the platinum race I was having with Sean on the channel to see who could reach 100 platinum trophies first is over, and I lost. Sean beat me. I don't want to sully his win because he did work very hard at playing those really easy games. No, I meant to surrender. I don't want to sully his victory. Sean definitely worked hard in the home stretch, and I was fucking off. I had some decent chances to pull ahead, and I was playing Monster Hunter World instead, which has like an impossible not an impossible, but a very lengthy platinum. So between that and then like the day before the final day, I lost power for like 36 hours because of a winter storm. So that did not add up. But that being said, I mean, a loss is a loss. So I lost, Sean won, and since then I have not won a trophy hunt like at all. It's just completely gone from me. I'm just like, nope, no thank you. So, yeah, I lost. Crushing defeat. It's that point in the anime where the main protagonist suffers a devastating loss. They need a pep talk to get back at it, but no one's giving me a pep talk, so I'm just still wallowing. I also think I definitely used way too many endorphins, getting all those platinums, and like just I don't feel joy anymore. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that was beginning of the month, I think, ish. And then what else? I don't think I talked about this other than like briefly in a stream, but I got in a car accident earlier this month too. Like, wow, it's been a long time since I recorded them. But my injuries are pretty much healed. It's just kind of scars at this point. But, yeah, I was, again, a different winter storm. I was driving home and from work, and, well, let me preface it with this. I knew it was going to be, like, a shitty drive home, so, like, I was talking to my dad, and he was like, oh, you can take my car. I have the day off tomorrow. And, you know, you should take it because my car kind of was having problems with its brakes. So he was like, oh, you can take mine. I can't use both of them. All right. He was like, you can take my car. It'll probably be a little safer. And I was like, okay. How many do I have? 4? I can fit one more. Do I think I can do this with 5 monsters? Would it be better to start using smaller ones too? I mean, I want to go big or go home. Exodia better fucking put up or shut up after the effort it took me to get him. Yeah, so it was in, so my dad was like, alright, you should take my car, it'll be safer. His car didn't have 4-wheel drive, but mine did, but mine also had, like, no brakes, like, I was hitting, like, metal to metal. So, yeah, not a great situation for anyone. So I get out of work, and it wasn't snowing on the way to work, but it was, like, really, this is the issue, it wasn't really snow, it was, like, slush. It was just, like, the ground was coated in, like, at least 3 inches of, like, gross ice. And, how does he move? He moves diagonal? That's weird. Why does Exodia have such a weird movement pattern? But yeah, so so it was, his car is also lower to the ground. So, combining that with, the ice and stuff like that, like I was very careful driving home because I do back roads and a lot of them are unplowed, but I'm on like a main road is where I got in the accident. I was driving, I was basically, imagine I was going straight, and then the path kind of splits off to the left and splits off to the right, and I went to go left, and the car just like locked up because the snow had like all like collected into the bottom, and my brakes didn't work. My steering wheel didn't work. Like I turned the steering wheel all the way, but the power steering had stopped. I can't talk and play while I do this because I'm making a lot of hand motions. But yeah, it was not ideal by any means. So okay, so let's say who gives the most AP? Curse of Drive. Ooh, Dark Magician gives a good amount. So yeah, it sucked. It was very bad, very dangerous. Basically, so I locked up and I went straight, and straight there was like a house, but luckily I didn't hit the house. Oh my god, I'd be like, you'd never hear from me again. Not because I ran away, but because I'd be forever locked up in that. So I hit one of those like green highway signs. I'm sure you've seen them, where it's like it lists like it says like, oh, continue on route whatever, and it'll list like 2 towns, and it'll say how many miles away they are. And it's just destroyed the right side of the car. The airbag deployed, and when it deployed, I actually had rolled up my sleeves because the heat was blasting, and on my sweatshirt, and it burned like my fingertips on my left hand, and then it burned like all over my arm on my right hand, or on my right arm, and it was bad. It hurt a lot. I didn't go to the hospital because I don't have insurance. America. But because I also didn't want to like make a bigger fuss out of it than I needed to. So, yeah, so I got out of the car, and I should have called AAA, which is like the roadside assistance. But instead I called the police because I'm like, I just hit a highway sign, and I'm like on like a main road. I was like, I should probably call them before someone else calls them. And it was, ironically, maybe not ironic, but like, you know, just coincidentally, it was right across the street from that town's police station, like literally right across the street. And so a cop came out, and I talked to him, and was just like, yeah, just the car locked up, nothing I could do. And I like grabbed my stuff, and I called my dad, and I was like, listen, I've been in an accident. It's pretty rough. I'm still like shaking up. Like I did this was all within like 2 minutes. Like it's just this like calling police, talk to police in person, call my dad, and just like I'm still like I literally like got out of the car, grabbed my phone, and called. Like I was just like in hyperactive like mode, or just like I need to get all this done like immediately. And yeah, so I did that. Oh, is that how this one works? It looks like the opposite sides, it knocks down those. Okay. I kind of see the gimmick here, I think. But yeah, so it was scary, scary stuff. And yeah, so the cop made me call, or made my car get towed. Like, AAA will tow your car to your mechanic of choice. But because the cop was doing it, he basically was just like, yeah, you're getting this towed. Here's where we're taking it. And so they grabbed my car, and I had to go now walk across the police station to get a vehicle release form. And then, like, before that, I just like to collect, like, just like to stand still and like collect my thoughts for a second. I went into a coffee shop across, like, it's like coffee shop, 7-Eleven, not mine, and then some restaurant, and then like behind them, like when you drive down like a very, very tiny road, there's the police station. So I stopped at the coffee shop before I went there, and I was just kind of like collecting my thoughts, and then I like get in there, and I was just gonna order like a bagel or something, just to like validate like me sitting there. Like, it wasn't so much like I was hungry or could even eat. It was just more of like I didn't want them to be like, this guy just randomly walked into our store. So I get in there, and I hear this old woman like talking to the person behind the counter, and she's like, oh, look, an accident across the street. You know, some people really just can't drive in the snow. And I just want to be like, lady. It's just I was like, it was kind of good that I encountered that, because it helped me kind of snap out of my fugue, if it were, and because it's just, you know, by blind rage, not blind rage, it was just more of like annoyance. So like so she was like, oh, some people just can't handle the snow, and I was just like, well, actually, my car locked up in the snow, I couldn't turn or anything, and like she turned around and she could like see my fucked up arm and stuff like that, and she was like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, and she was just, I didn't mean anything by it. And it was just, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like, oh, you have to let me give you a hug. I'm a grandmother. And I just like, got my paternal instincts. And I want to be like, fuck you, lady. And I'm just like, no, I'll be the bigger person. And I'm just like, okay, awkward. Don't know why I have to touch you now. So, two-faced people, always fun. But that kind of reminded me, it's like, right, I'm back in the real world, okay. So it was like, it was good, because it kind of helped me collect my thoughts. That would be the least shitty person in that day, to be honest. And then, so I walk to the police station, I get the form, and at this point, once I'm like inside, the cold's not like whipping against me, because it's still storming out. Like once I'm inside, I'm starting to like collect thoughts in the police station that I can really start to like hurt. Like my it sounds weird to say, like my whole right arm was kind of like fucked up and like burned and like bleeding a little bit. Not bleeding, like it's had bled and then it like crusted over really quick. But so like my arm's like fucked up, but the thing that hurt way more was my left hand, because just like I like burned my fingertips, and it just sitting there, like just every time like slight movement or wind touched it, like just exposing them to the air hurt a lot. So wasn't super excited about that. Ooh, what's this? That's a big attack too. Is there a better spot I can get this? I'm trying to think of where they're matched up. It's almost like they knew. Yeah, there don't seem to be any diagonal areas, at least not from this direction. Can move here and start attacking this thing. You probably, what's its? Let me see. I don't like having Dark Magician kind of off on his own like that, but he's kind of doing work right now. So yeah, I get the release form, and then I had to call an Uber to take me to the mechanic that was like in the town. Like they hadn't gone very far, because they had to get my car towed. And yeah, it was a weird situation because my dad did not react well. Not really, didn't really ask how I was or if I was okay. I just kind of went like, what happened to the car? And that had kind of pissed me off. So he was going to pick me up from the real mechanic, that's like closer to our house. So I had to like figure out a way to get to that mechanic. It was a whole fucking annoying situation. So I grabbed an Uber and I went to, or not an Uber, I grabbed a Lyft. Come on, let's be real. Uber in 2017 or 2018, and yeah, I grabbed that. Oh, this is going surprisingly well, but now I'm starting to take hits on those parts of the field. But yeah, so I go to the place and I get there at like 7:30, and they don't open until 8. So even though they managed to tow my car, now all of a sudden I can't find them. So like, I'm trying to get this done, and I just want to, you know, get there, get to the other mechanic and go, and I can't even do that. So holy shit, Exodia's a tank. So that's not fun. So I'm like waiting outside in the cold for like another half hour, which was, it sounds bad, but was kind of good because I was able to like keep putting my hand in the snow because it was, you know, it still like hurt a lot. And mechanic comes out. I get him to like, I can see my car. They left it on the, like one of those like big tow trucks, the ones where it's like the flatbed. And I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to, so like I could see it the whole time, but I finally get them to take it down, and then I go to what do you call it? I get him to take it down, and then I'm just kind of like waiting by it and just looking at it while I like wait for AAA to, because I had called AAA back at the police station because I know they take fuck all, they take forever, and so they said they were going to be there by like 8:20. They finally get there at like 8:45, so I'm just sitting there for at least an hour, just like outside in the cold, and then finally like 10 minutes before AAA gets there, another guy comes to the like tow truck place, and he's just like, are you gonna pay for this? And then like, I'm just like, what do you mean pay? I didn't choose to do this. I didn't say that. I thought it. Like a good little boy. No, I didn't say that, but I definitely thought it. And I was very annoyed, but like the very idea. And it's like, you want me to pay for the cops forcing me to go with you guys while I get my other mechanic to, or while I get AAA to tow you to my real mechanic? Like, whatever. So I get in there, and they're like, okay, that'll be $144. I'm like, what? For towing it down the street. And I was just like, whatever. It's just like, because what am I going to do? Like, I didn't have a choice. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I can evolve Dark Magician here. Interesting. I didn't think I'd be able to do this for a while. I hate that the games keep letting me do this, because they do this in Falsebound Kingdom too, and I'm just like, I like regular Dark Magician. Like, why do you keep making me choose Magician of Black Chaos, which Yugi has used a grand total of like twice? Well,
Time for show your hidden strike.
Might as well though. Let's be real. I thought I'd be level 5 too. That's pretty cool. Also, I thought this field wasn't dark enough. I thought I had to go to Bakura's field. I mean, whatever. I'm not questioning things. So yeah, they're like $144. I'm like, okay, do you guys take credit? And they're like, no, we're cash only. I'm like, what? What kind of backwards in 2018 cash only? So I was like, all right. And I was like, well, is there a nearby ATM? Oh, I fucked up. I didn't get to attack because I evolved. I was like, all right, is there a nearby ATM? And they're like, there's one in the convenience store next door. And when they say next door, they mean a bit away. Like, it wasn't like right next door. It was some loose wording. And on top of that, the sidewalk wasn't plowed, so I had to like walk through like feet of snow in the slush to go to an ATM to get charged at like $3 fee to take out $160 to pay them $144. And I was just like, I just can't even, like, I'm just so fucking annoyed with this. And yeah, it was not a fun time. And then so now the other mechanic is there. The AAA mechanic is here, and I've dealt with a few of them because I have a shitty car. And this one, honestly, this was kind of a relief. The dude was super nice. Shout out to him. He was really, really cool. And like we were talking the whole time, and he was like, you know, oh well, I gotta be honest, it's probably totaled, but I mean that kind of car holds its. It's a Honda CR-V 2006, and he was like, oh, that kind of car holds its wealth pretty well. So you'll probably get like, I don't know, 500 for it. And I was like, that can't be right. And he was like, no, they do pretty well usually. And I was like, well, I mean, that'd be nice. And he was just like, and he was like, hey, don't worry about it, man. I mean, it was very clearly an accident, like, you know, snow and shit like that. You can't control it. Just kind of gotta do what you can. And it was just like, it was just kind of generic.
Or surrender.
Shut up. It was just kind of generic, like, you know, everything's gonna be fine. I was like, I mean, I don't know if it will, but I appreciate you saying that. So, and then I'm trying to think of what else. So I get to the new mechanic, and this one's out like plowing his place. So like I have to like flag him down. I'm just like, hey, and I like explained to him. I'd never been to this mechanic, by the way. It was just kind of like, I went there because my dad had said to bring it there, and so I didn't know them. I wasn't familiar with their work. I was just kind of there. So, can I still not use Obliterate? What's going on here? I thought it'd be close enough, but it seems like they moved just out of range of me. What about here? Nope. Alright, well, let's leave it. Doesn't have enough AP. Ah. No. I'm just letting myself get attacked. This is so stupid. I'm not focusing enough. I'm being greedy. I'm trying to get Exodia to get a couple more attacks. So I can help level him up quicker. Can you not destroy him, please? So yeah, so we get to this new mechanic, and like I'm waiting for my dad to pick me up at this point, because I like tell the head mechanic, and he's just like, all right, yeah, we'll pick it up, or you can pick it up, or we'll take a look at it later and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yep, I left him all the information. I was waiting in his office. My dad finally gets there. He goes straight to check on the car. I'm just like, okay, cool, thanks. No, I'm fine, by the way. Can I oh, you know what? I think I might only be able to use this if I don't move. That must be the trick to it. I can't believe I can't hit this thing. Maybe I'm just gonna get real close in it though. Oh, so this is okay. So these spaces have more dark than these ones. I think no, they're about the same. I might just leave Exodia. Well, I'll just leave him. He's already leveled up once. So yeah, that happened. I get home. I'm just like in shock. Finally managed to go to sleep. I just take, like, even though there's still kind of snow on the ground, I just take my car to work later that night because I'm like, I don't have any options. And the snow was like going through the day. So, but like my car had 4-wheel drive, and if like the problem with the brakes was that they sucked. But there weren't that many cars on the road, and I had enough like leeway where I could like just brake early. So I managed to get through it.
I win.
I'll let you have this round, Pharaoh, but next time, I will destroy you until you're nothing more than a memory.
Wait, where are you
A forbidden memory?
See ya.
Merrick!
That seems like an unresolved plot line. Alright. How much XP did we get for that? 48. Damn, that's not enough. Well, at least everyone else leveled up. That's good. Will I take this? Yes, I will. Although, what I don't like about this is that it raises the AP cost to move, which sucks. I think Curse of Dragon, I think I'm done getting Curse of Dragon, because I think I had to get him to level 5 so I could fuse him with Gaia, but I don't know if I've gotten Gaia yet. I don't really know who to take. I'm just going to take those ones. Hope for the best. So that was earlier this month. I want to say it was like the first week of March. And then, yeah, A lot of fun. So that happened, and finally, this isn't chronologically what happened next, but I forgot to write it down on my new whiteboard where I can store all my stories. But I finally did get my car fixed, and it was only like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I went to this mechanic recommended by my boss, and it was fine. Like, the mechanic seemed on the up and up, and I had to get my front brakes, my back brakes, and my oil pressure gauge, and it ran for about like $1,000, including tax. And I was just like, cool. So that's $1,000 I had to spend. I still haven't actually paid that off. I put that on my credit card. So that's fun. It's fun being an adult. Recommend it to everyone. Nothing I'd rather do. Yeah, that wasn't really a story though. That was sort of just me just dropping off the car in the morning, having my brother help me pick it up, and then it's good to have brakes again. It's nice. I recommend having brakes on your car if you can. Let me see. That's all the car updates, I think. What do I have? I have the Luigi story, which I told in Digimon Adventure. I don't know if I should tell that story again. Ooh, here's a good one. Hold on.
I couldn't wait to duel you. Is that so, Bakura?
Bakura? No, I'm more than that. And you don't stand a chance, not after I learned all your strategies when you dueled against my host body. You may have defeated Bakura, but his skills are complete garbage when compared to mine.
Oh, really? Then let me put your abilities to the test.
Fine. It will be my pleasure to destroy you, Yugi.
It's weird to me how friendly Yugi is with Bakura. And also, hearing Bakura's voice just makes me realize that Little Karibo's Bakura voice is like very close to spot on, as most of his voices are. So I'm on my I don't think this is another update, but I've talked about this in other places, so I'll try and keep it brief. But the owners of my 7-Eleven, the store I work at, are selling because it's franchised, so they don't want to deal with 7-Eleven anymore. So they're selling to, like, they're going to sell the store back to 7-Eleven, and then some new owners will take over. And I'm kind of just leaving. I'm just peacing out because I just don't really feel the need to keep getting involved. So my last day is actually April 1st, which is next Sunday. And it feels so good. No, it's very nice. So, shit. Wow. He takes a lot. I don't know if it was worth it to upgrade him to Magician of Black Chaos. I mean, it's a dark field, so I should really... I think, isn't he... No, he's technically dark. Let's get rid of Curse of Dragon. Maybe Summons... I hate to say it, but... Summon Skull has a real lack of movement, so it might be better to bring him. Well, let's see. I have 165, which means I can bring Summon Skull. Okay. This is 4. I have exactly 4 monsters. Ooh. Alright. Things are getting a bit spicy for the pepper, but we'll be fine. This map is super dark, though, so it helps to have all dark monsters. But yeah, so they're selling the store, and I just kind of took that as a sign. It's like, I'm just going to peace out. I don't want to be here for my whole life. I don't want to be here any longer than I need to, and just like dealing with new ownership. And I've been there almost 7 years now, and it's since I graduated high school. And it just seems stupid to try and, because I mean, my very factual view on life is that no job ever gets better the longer you stay there. Like, every job only gets worse. Like, you have every job I've ever worked at, it always feels like freedoms, and like kind of like it only gets harder, and you don't always get compensated for that harder job. So it just seems silly to keep trying to do that. So I'm just gonna not. So my plan at the moment, and I can tell you guys because I don't care that much what you think of me. It's very irresponsible, but I'm just taking a month off. I'm going to go on unemployment, and I'm going to try and get my life back together, try and live during the day again, and not do live on an overnight schedule. I want to say, hopefully I'll record and stream more. I think I will, just out of sheer boredom. But no promises, because I feel bad whenever I promise that and then don't live up to it.
Are you sure?
But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna tell you guys this. I want to get back into writing. Like, I went to college for English writing and communications, but more so just writing. And I kind of neglected that since I left college. And I want to actually like give it a shot and like get some stories out there. Not out there, but because I don't know where I would post them. But just kind of just get them out of my brain and onto paper, or you know what I mean. Not physical paper. Gross. It's not on the computer. So, ooh, I can't. If I move there, I can't go. Okay, this is good. Ooh, he has a pretty good range of attack. That's good. But yeah, I just, I want to take some time off. Like, even when I was in my final year of college, and I think even my second to final year too, I was going home every weekend to work. I was going through school all week, and I had a ton of personal stuff going on. It's like, I just want to relax for a month. Call it a vacation, call it a sabbatical, hiatus, whatever you want to call it, but I just need to try and be a functioning member of society. So I'm not even going to really look for jobs until after that. I have like even with all that shit that I've been paying for, what do you call it? My mechanical bills and stuff like that. Like, I've still got enough to go at least a few months without having a job. So as risky as it may be, not that risky, but it's like not like as, how do I put this? As not risky, but as, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. As sort of like ill-advised, maybe, as it might be. I'm not like that bad off, and plus working like 5 days a week because the other guy left, I've kind of saved up a good amount. So I should be okay for at least a little bit. I mean, not mandatory, but like obligatory. Every little bit you give helps, but it's like, I'm not here to ask for that. Like, I'm going to do what I'm doing whether I get help or not, so don't worry about it. Like, I don't really factor YouTube or Twitch profits in any of this. I just kind of like anything that I get as bonus or goes towards games and stuff, so don't feel like that's their responsibility. It's like, oh no, if we don't do this, then no, don't. I'll be fine. What was I saying? So I'm leaving my job, and because of that, kind of getting a little bit more laissez-faire with it, and I'm just kind of I'm starting to care less and less, and that includes shirking off duties, like just not mopping and stuff like that, which was my least favorite thing to do, because people who shop at convenience stores are animals and leave messes all over the floor every single goddamn day. But no, it's kind of with customers too. Like, customers who I don't like, I've kind of just stopped pretending to like, or stop being like even cordial with. Like, there's a kid I went to high school with, and he's kind of a druggy dropout, or whatever you want to call it. Just a shitty kid. And, I mean, he's nice enough. It's just like really intense, and I think he's kind of not that fun to be around. And he was in my homeroom in high school, and I only remember this because of what he said. But him and his friend, who's a cop in the town, the one who I've heard say the N-word before he became a cop, and now he's a cop, and I'm just sort of like, okay, I guess that's cool. Not that you can really do a background check for that, but I'm just kind of like, I'm like, I know you've done this. Why? How can you be a cop? Whatever. So, so they both came in, and they're like at 4 a.m. and I'm trying to do like shift break for like the next morning. Like, it's no longer the overnight. It's like, now it's early morning. It's like, I gotta get my shit done. They have no excuse for still being out, like, partying and stuff. It's on like a Monday night. I'm like, come on. So, they so they're just like trying to like goof around and have a conversation. It's just like, oh, this guy never talks, and he's never like that. And I'm finally just like, it's because I think he quoted me, because I guess I said this to him before that, where he was just like, oh, you know, the cop one was like, oh, he never talks, and the other one was like, yeah, he told me last time I was in here he didn't take the overnight job because he likes to have because he likes to talk with people. I'm like, that's right. And I kind of took it because I hope people like you wouldn't be here. I did say that out loud, and then they were just like, still, and he was just like, oh no, he's a great guy, always so serious. I'm just like, he's like, oh, same as high school. I was like, I wasn't the same in high school. I was not serious in high school. And he, so I was just like, yeah, you know, we've all come a long way from high school, in some ways, not as me. You're a cop now. Chucky over here has the Hitler Youth haircut, because he does, and I don't like when people have that haircut because I think it's really weird. Like, why would you choose this? And so I said that, and the best part about that was, like I said, like, oh, he's got the Hitler Youth haircut, and you know, his cop friend laughed, and he was just like, oh, you're the fucking same since high school. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, used to make that joke in homeroom too. And I was just like, oh my god. I had no recollection of making that joke before. Like, legitimately, I thought I was saying it for the first time. Like, I thought I was like, alright, I'm gonna finally tell him what I fucking think of him. Not like in like a bully type way, but I'm just like, I'm finally just gonna let loose on this guy. Turns out I'd already let loose before. And so it was just funny. I like laughed. I was like, oh, it's good to know I have the same taste in humor. And you have the same taste in haircuts. He doesn't have the Hitler Youth haircut. He has like the business white guy haircut. Where they have like the hat, like one side of the head is like sort of shaved, but the Hitler Youth haircut would require it to like flop over, I think. So it is what it is. How do I do this? I think if we kill it with Karibo and then have Summon Skull leapfrog over, I can attack Needle Ball. So that happened. Good to know. I apparently bullied this kid in high school who definitely was already a bully. Apparently I bullied a bully, which feels good in many ways. What else? So I've oh, I can tell this one because it's kind of short. So I told this to Carlos and a couple other people, and everyone else thinks I'm ridiculous, and I can kind of admit to this. This is a weird story, but I'm just gonna kind of get it out there. I had to buy new sheets over the weekend because I had the sheet I did have. I'm gonna leave this to your imagination and just leave it at that. But I was putting my jeans on under the covers because either A, I genuinely don't remember what it was. Either I was cold and like, because I don't always sleep with pants on. Either I was cold and putting pants on, or I had just finished masturbating and was just putting my pants back on. Either way, it could be either one. I don't know which one. I honestly forget at this point. Do you feel lucky? No, so... Ooh, Exodia might be able to use Obliterate, but that's risky. Because I'm going to damage Summon Skull and Karibo on the Crossfire. Let me see. How far does Obliterate go? It would hit both Summon Skull and Karibo. And I would only hit... I think I would hit this symbol, too. So this could do... This would probably do real decent damage to these two. But then I'd have to back these two out. I'm going to do that. I'm going to retreat for a little bit. And then... Kareebs... Actually, I could just do... SPA... Neutralize an enemy attack for one time only. Only affects the monster with this ability. I never get to use this. Can I still move? No, Karibo's definitely done. Okay. I think Summon Skull's out of range. I can't tell. Let's do it up. Oh, is there an animation for this? No. That's pretty cool, though. Haha. Oh, wow. I won. It, like, actually does that much damage. It wasn't just like... Oh, I guess it does. Okay. That was a crazy attack.
This is not funny.
It's a little funny. You have no more symbol. I win. That was, that felt like a cheap win. I don't know how I feel about that one. Right, so I need to buy new sheets because I had ripped a tiny hole in it when, like, so it had, like,
Duel is over,
I'll finish after this.
Yugi, I let you win this time. Go and conquer this meaningless tournament. I don't really care. Until we meet again.
Ooh, I'll level up again. So I don't know if it was because, so I don't know what the cause of this was, but I was putting my pants on under the sheets and like the sheet got caught in my zipper, which was weird. And it was like deep in there. And like, so I couldn't zip it down and I couldn't like pull it out like through the zipper. So the only way I could do it was just like to make a tiny rip in the sheet and just kind of like get it out that way. And it was, at first it was a very like tiny one. Like I want to say, I don't know, like pill sized or like penny size. No, like smaller than a penny. And it was, I thought it was okay. And I was just like, okay, well, you know, this will be fine. It just slowly over like the next like 2 months, it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger until it was like the entire sheet was just like this giant hole, which doesn't make sense to me because the fabric was still there. It was just like, it's really annoying. It's like, it had like opened up. So it's like all the fabric was still there, but I just couldn't, like it just didn't work like a sheet did anymore. So that was fun. And then I finally broke down and bought new ones, but that's just a weird, dumb, like, stupid story. I don't know why I told it now. No. That was fine. I think it's probably caused by masturbation. Probably. So kids, don't masturbate, or you'll have to get new sheets. But not for the reason you're thinking. Well, I could attack Kaiba, or I could call it here, and then get this out early. I'm also kind of worried about the capture device. It was being real finicky earlier. I'd rather just get it done with and get it out there. Alright, next time, Kaiba, and then whatever is in Area 5, because I've never gotten to Area 5. Tune in next time.